All right, so Tom, first of all, congratulations on being Client of the Month.
Thank you.
Can you just tell us where, first of all, you started and where you were, and now where you are in terms of your physical achievements?
Much bigger, much bigger. I've lost quite a lot of weight over a period of time.
How much weight have you lost?
I'm now just over 2 stone. I think the last year over 2 stone, but I think over the time that I've been working with you, far more. But
Yeah.
to start with, never really kept track of it.
Yeah.
Didn't really want to keep track of it.
Understand.
And it was more about me trying to get into the habits of, of doing some exercise and doing something which was, going to make me healthy in the long run. So it was a slow and steady thing. I feel physically stronger. I came to you originally, as you remember, because of my bad back, and I was really struggling with, my back would always go if I was putting stuff down and lifting heavy stuff, and every time I felt a little twinge there or a ping there, I'd come in and have a treatment. And then over time, that kind of led to us talking about boxing, and that sort of, triggered a bit of an idea of maybe I could do this and that could help me maybe, lose some weight and be trained, but also be sort of exercising. But yeah, since I've been working with the boxing and the stuff I do with May, I feel stronger, physically stronger, and I feel I'm far less susceptible to injuries. Like even when I have felt that little twinge, normally I'm up and about, or that doesn't really do any damage so much anymore. I feel stronger, I feel more able to cope with it.
Do you feel like boxing was a way in for you?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Why was that? Why did boxing click for you?
Because
what were your perceptions of what it was to be fit before that?
Well, I think before that, my perceptions of having any personal training was that you'd have some. I mean, all my experiences with people that I have worked with previously have been good and very positive, but I never really enjoyed as much what we were doing. And I think because there was no purpose behind what I was doing, or there was no tangible result from what I was doing, I never really had anything from it. And because, of course, like losing weight and becoming fitter is not necessarily something you see instant results with. Having that, I'm learning to box. There's a tangible thing there. I came back the following week, and I knew that combination. I knew, hit the one and to slip and to do all these sorts of things. And
so it's more skill based.
Yeah, because I'm having to pick up these skills, I can see the results.
Yeah.
But in a sort of underhanded way, actually there are other results which I'm not so aware of. I.e., my fitness improving, my weight loss. At the start, I wasn't necessarily hugely committed to the weight loss idea, and as we'll probably go on to say, I had a lot of things to deal with in my head about my food and my eating and stuff. But boxing's been the best. I said to everybody that it's the best thing I've ever done in terms of my fitness, because of the fact that I'm tricking myself into exercising, and I can see a result when it's enjoyable. It's fun.
There was one particular reason why I thought, 100%. That you deserve Client of the Month, not just because of your physical achievements, which what kind of really emphasised to me that 100% definitely Client of the Month is we had this bit of an epiphany together when you were borderline shaming yourself or feeling guilty about having an egg salad, when it wasn't maybe outside of your routine to eat that. Yeah. And I thought that a year ago we were talking about sweets and junk food and things like that. So then to be, not having a discussion about maybe having one more salad than you should.
Well, I think what I've learned about myself is that I for some reason, I'm a very confident person, but I need those assurances, and that's where obviously working with you and May and everybody that I've worked with here and even at home, the support I've had, is that they're willing to give me that assurance. And so for me to verbalise that is almost my way of dealing with that, and having that, well, that's perfectly normal, has been really reassuring. And I think when I started with you, I think my experiences of trying to lose weight previously have been very solitary. I've done that completely on my own, and I had really committed to it for a period of time and never seen the results, so therefore didn't continue with it and fell off the wagon, if you like. And what was different in this case was I kind of just I blurted it all out, and I remember saying to you, and I remember saying to Matt, I've got to say this, otherwise, my brain will actually say, no, don't say that, that's making yourself a bit vulnerable. But yeah, I'm definitely learning more about eating, and I still feel not anxious, but I still feel like the days when I have, like this morning I've had 4 fruit pastels, and in the back of my head I'm like, well, what's that going to do to my weight gain? And actually what I'm beginning to learn is it doesn't matter. You know, if I put a pound on, I can lose a pound. If I put 2 pounds on, I'll lose 2 pounds. And I think I'm becoming more accepting of that and trying to not worry so much about it. But it's still there a little bit, but I think it always will be.
Do you feel that exercising control over your weight and knowing that you can control your behaviours and therefore influence your weight, do you feel like that realisation has given you a bit more security, so you don't worry as much as you might have done before?
Yeah, a little bit more. I'm still not 100% secure, and I still say that I do have my moments of thinking, I really want this, I'm going to have this, and then afterwards I have that moment of regret, if you like, not guilt anymore, the moment of, well, did I really need that? But the severity of that feeling, or like how that, the impact that has on me is far less, definitely, 100%.
And could you kind of summarise your psychological journey as well? What kind of significant changes have you made or been able to make to your psychology?
Well, I think because of having those assurances from people that I speak to, I'm able to paint the picture in my head now of where I've been and where I am at now, and almost seeing the successes that I have. Previously I wouldn't have hesitated to, if I was hungry and if I was on the road going to a gig or whatever, buy a couple of sandwiches, a couple of packets of crisps, and enjoy them and eat them, and that'd be my lunch. And I'm controlling that. I manage that far better now. I feel this might sound weird to some people, but I feel a sense of pride sometimes when I walk through the snack aisle in supermarkets, and I'm just like, I don't really want it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that makes me feel really happy. And I know that's so basic for most people to have that, that ability of control. But that's, I think, the sort of mental journey that I have been on is the fact that that's been really difficult for me for whatever reason. I can't put my finger on why. And I've said to you before, I've not had an upbringing where I was, I therefore went without. I had what I wanted, and I don't know where that need for all that crap food came from.
Well, that's another interesting epiphany that you had that we've discussed before, is that now you can't empathise with the person who you used to be, and you find it hard to empathise with people who consciously make bad decisions.
Yeah, I think, I see the error in my ways, and then I kind of see the error in other people's ways, and I do find myself thinking, maybe, I would never verbalise this. I think a lot of people struggle in the way that I've struggled. I don't think enough people are asking for help with it. I don't think enough people are saying, I really don't want to eat this sort of food anymore, and I really want to be healthier. And I don't think there's enough people out there to support people with those issues, no matter how big or small they may be. There's definitely, as I've said to you, a bit of an eating epidemic, if you like. People don't eat correctly, and there's this, there is such a simpler method to it. You can easily choose between that delicious looking raspberry jam donut, which I could easily smash back 10 of back in the day, and now, there's you can have something which is far more enjoyable, better for you, it fills you up more, and I think it's all based on education, really.
When it comes to that, when you had that, say, previous mindset where you're more likely to be on that side of the spectrum, what were the barriers that you experienced into improving your habits? You mentioned solitude, trying to deal with it.
I couldn't be asked.
Okay, good.
I liked it. I like still. I love a donut. I don't think I've had a donut actually for about 4 years, which is
that's nuts. Yeah.
But and I can't. I think I feel strong enough. How weird is this? To not buy a donut.
Yeah.
I think it's. I can't remember what you said.
So it's about the barriers to.
I just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
I like the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
It tasted good.
So more change that then.
I wanted to lose weight.
Why though?
Because I was unhealthy. It all kind of kicked off because I'd had a baby boy.
I thought so.
So when my first son was born, I was, starting to look at myself a bit more and thinking, well, I want to, this little bundle of awesome is wicked, and I want to be here as long as I can be. And then I started to think, well, I've got to start with me, and I wanted to be a better role model for my son at the time, and now my children, and as much as I can, I'm trying to be as open with the eldest. The youngest wouldn't have a clue necessarily what I mean at the minute, but you know, he asks, why are you going boxing, Daddy? And I'm telling him, you know, I'm trying to lose weight. You know, this is not the ideal size to be. And you know, not trying to be negative with it, but I just want to pass on to him the fact that it's okay to be dealing with this, the issues that I've been dealing with, and yeah, for him to see that journey I'm on as well, kind of gives me another reason to keep going.
Last of all, is there anywhere that this ends, or is there any?
No, I can't see it ending, and that does make me a bit anxious sometimes, and a bit sad in some respects. When I started Slimming World last December, not the one just gone, the one before, and that's been really good. It's been really positive. But I would say that for the first 4 months, I stayed. I stayed for the session afterwards, and you know, and I didn't want to talk. I made that really clear to the lady I went with. She was super supportive. I didn't want to know my weight. She was wicked with that. You know, it was all I was dealing with many things that I just didn't want to know. And I think because of that as well, I wasn't really getting anything from it. And I was sitting in there thinking, oh, there's a whole load of ladies here who are, you know, middle-aged. They're not like me. They don't have the, you know. And actually, when I did open myself up and started listening to what these people were saying, there were so many occasions when we'd go around, you know, and I'd hear people and be like, well, I do that, you know, and oh, right, I do that, oh, but yeah, that's me. And gradually that kind of started to level the playing field a little bit. And I went from being on my own up on the hill, if you like, to actually we're all together in this, in a really cliche sort of way. And so doing that Slimming World stuff has given me a bit more of a plan of what to eat, what I can. And now, you know, pretty consistently I've been losing weight on that. That's the reason combining what we do and that's why I'm losing weight so regularly. And yeah, I've just tried to be, I don't know, as difficult as I found it previously, I was keeping it to myself. And what has led to me making any sort of progress, the first time I made any progress or made a loss with my weight or changed my mental attitude to it, is because I've started talking to people about it. And they say, don't they, you know, with any problems, you just need to talk about it. And I've learned that other people experience it. People who, you know, I've had very candid conversations with, you know, very close friends of mine who, you know, who I never dreamed they were going through anything even remotely similar. You know, because I look at these people and think, well, they've got it all. They've got the body, you know, they've got the fitness thing. They do all this. They look great. And you know, having started this and being quite open with a lot of my close friends, you know, a good number of them have been like, yeah, I really struggle with that. Mm-hmm. And I hope perhaps maybe that me being open with them, if they weren't intending to be open with anybody else, maybe that will lead to them being, you know, able to be open about it and make a change if they need to or if they want to. Yeah, man, it's been a tough journey, and there's been tears, I'm sure, and there's been cakes and Jaffa cakes and donuts. I'm sure there've been moments, but I'd say for the last year, 2 years or so, it's been really positive, really wicked, and yeah, I'm really grateful. So thanks.
No problem, my pleasure.
Yeah, it's been really good.
And last of all, if there was a message that you wanted to give to anyone who you felt was struggling with the same barriers to entry into fitness and a healthy lifestyle that you experienced, what would you say to them?
Pick something that you're going to enjoy, or something that you're intrigued to know more about. I think, even though I do this now with May, you know, I do the
weight training?
Yeah, the weight training, what do they call it? The circuits. So even though I'm doing circuits with May, I'm really enjoying that because again, it's, you know, it's helping me to see some results quickly. But pick an exercise you're going to enjoy. Pick a reason for doing it. You know, if you want to go and get better at a sport, go and do that sport, but do it and commit to it. You know, I was always interested in boxing as a kid. I'm not in it to fight anybody. I'm in it just purely for the skill and learning that. And that's been, you know, if I think about it, truthfully, that's the catalyst for me. You know, learning to box.
Who do you pick this weekend, Fury or Wilder?
Oh, I have no idea. I know who I want to win.
Who?
I want Fury to win.
100%.
Because he's a really good character. I like both of them. Can I just tell you my favourite cuss from the...
God, it's fully mine as well. No, you sent me it.
I sent it, it was wicked. So I think Tyson Fury said, I'm the first, I'm the best heavyweight in the world, you're the third best heavyweight in the world. And Deontay Wilder said, who's the second? And he said, your mama. And that was awesome.
Cheers, so
Thank you.
congratulations, big party.
Thank you.